Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey, I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. If you missed a couple episodes because of the holidays, I get it. I had real episodes both Thanksgiving and yesterday was particularly fun. I was a little loose yesterday. Go back and check that out. The SF Gate went to see John Mulaney. And they write, comedian John Mulaney returned to San Francisco, which he once dubbed a city that isn't nice. Mulaney opened the show by reminiscing on his history with San Francisco and talked about one of his recent sets in the city. I came here briefly to do a concert at Dreamforce, and then he told the tech bros that they're imminently replaceable. Mulaney added, I got paid before the show. You can't do that. He did some local humor. The seal of San Francisco should be a guy going back to get a jacket. Mulaney then admitted, I've been doing that joke here since 2007. That's hilarious. I guess he won't have an Amazon special anytime soon. He did some material about Jeff Bezos saying, no matter how much money you have, there's no fixing a lazy eye. He also commented on Mrs. Bezos, Lauren Sanchez. Yeah, definitely no Amazon special coming. John Mulaney said, it's beautiful how beautiful he thinks she is. Mulaney not a fan of AI, saying, not complicated, all bad. Don't let the robots take over. How many times did we practice? He did some jokes about Robert F. Kennedy, saying his wife was in Curb Your Enthusiasm and he cheats on her like a dog. That joke got booed. Mulaney said, that's the line for you? He poisons children, but his infidelity is too far? The Gate says John may dip his toes into dangerous topics, but Mulaney is skilled enough to make even the most vanilla content hilarious. And apparently the closer is very strong. No spoilers here. Now, the President of the United States and I, we don't agree on all the issues. Some of the issues we do agree upon, for example, make 1230 great again. This next issue, I'm not sure I'm aligned with the President. You see, the President is trying to revive the Rush Hour franchise. That's right. The President of the United States would like there to be Rush Hour 4. President Trump has been speaking with Larry Ellison, that's the guy who owns Paramount, about bringing back Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Now, interestingly enough, Chris Tucker was recently seen at a Kamala Harris campaign rally. At the time of this recording, there are no plans for a new Rush Hour film, but you never know. My question is, why is the president not doing anything about Star Trek? Make Star Trek great again. Stop with the Rush Hour. Focus on people like Patton Oswalt, who speak out against you, Mr. President, and then play characters named Doug the Vulcan on Star Trek. I don't think the president is attacking Patton Oswalt on this issue, this Star Trek, this Doug the Vulcan issue, quite enough. Patton Oswalt was on Stephen Colbert's soon-to-end show, and if Stephen Colbert is going to promote garbage like this, perhaps it is time for the show to come to an end. Let's listen.
Star Trek Strange New Worlds guest star Patton Oswalt breaks down playing a sexy Vulcan.
Yes.
Let's get the sexiness going here.
Come on. Yeah, hi.
Wow. That is, what's his name?
His name is Doug. His name is
Doug?
His name is Doug. His parents were fascinated with Earth culture, so they gave him an Earthling name. His
Doug.
name is Doug. He's an artist, and he studies Vulcan katras, and he is a sensualist.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is most, sexy about being a Vulcan? Is it the ears or the emotional unavailability?
The emotional unavailability. There's a whole come here, go away vibe coming off of Doug. And also it is a...
I like that come here, go away.
Come here, go away. Come here, go away. Attack by retreating.
Now, among the issues that the president and I don't agree on is this whole Jimmy Kimmel thing. Bill Maher called out Jimmy Kimmel's wife. This is going to go well. I'm sure Kimmel will be like, oh yeah, I'm totally cool with that, and not fire back at all. You may recall, Mrs. Kimmel was on a podcast. She revealed that before the election, she reached out to some of her conservative family members to convince them not to vote for President Trump. She told the podcaster she's lost some relationships with some family members over their support for the current president. Bill Maher addressed the comments. Now, these comments were like a month ago. Did Bill Maher pre-tape? No shame there. Sometimes you got to tape ahead. I understand, Bill Maher. Maher said, Jimmy Kimmel's wife and head writer went public on this topic recently, so I feel it's fair to comment respectfully in public. She says she's lost relationships with relatives because she wrote them an email before the election with 10 reasons why they shouldn't vote for Trump. Now that would have been a great Letterman top 10 list. I'm going to hit pause here. I'm tempted. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to write a harmless top 10 list in the Letterman style. Be right back. Okay, I'm back, and this is pretty good. All right, I come in peace. I'll tell you what I typed in. Here are the instructions. Make a harmless 1985 style/era Letterman top 10 list of the reasons not to vote for Donald Trump. Keep it silly. And then I asked it to get in one particular joke, which you'll see. ChatGPT, playing it safe. ChatGPT told me, I can do a purely silly, fictional 1985 Letterman-era comedy bit as entertainment only, in italics. Not real political advice, not actual reasons to vote or not vote. Okay, relax, ChatGPT. It's a bit. Think of this kind of as the absurdist list Dave would read with Paul chuckling in the background. Yes, that is what we're doing. Delivering jokes that have nothing to do with real policies or real voting guidance. Thanks, AI. From the Home Office in Washington, D.C., the top 10 completely fictional, totally ridiculous, clearly non-political reasons not to vote for Donald Trump. Number 10 claims his official presidential motorcade will be upgraded to 12 stretch limos connected like a giant human centipede of Cadillacs. Number 9 wants the national bird replaced with a really tan pigeon. Number 8 keeps calling the nuclear football the nuclear fanny pack. Number 7 says he won't take the oath unless there's a fog machine and at least one bald eagle on a skateboard. Number 6, his proposed cabinet, me, a mirror, a second mirror, and a guy named Rick who sells steaks out of a van. Number 5 wants to rename Mount Rushmore Mount Brushmore and replace all the faces with different versions of his hair. Number 4 says he will accept no briefing materials unless they come in the form of Garfield comics. Number 3 thinks NATO is that thing with the singing sharks on Sunday mornings. Number 2 keeps insisting he's going to make 1230 great again. And frankly, the network is getting nervous. And the number one reason not to vote for Donald Trump, his official campaign theme song, You're the Inspiration, performed entirely on kazoo. I think we might have a new bit coming up. Yeah, the bit is called Completely Rip Off David Letterman. I don't know if that's a bit, Sean. I enjoyed doing that. Anyway, I digress. Where were we? Oh, yeah, Bill Maher taking a shot at Mrs. Kimmel, who had her own list of 10 reasons not to vote for Trump. That's how we got into that. Okay, Bill Maher said 10 reasons. I could think of 100, but I would never present it to someone as an ultimatum. Ultimatums don't make people rethink their politics. They make them rethink you. Write a top 10 list to yourself. We to try and imagine 10 reasons why 77 million Americans didn't want to trust you with taking power. And I say that as someone who votes Democratic. And as I like to remind my very pure friends, we voted for the same person. You're just why she lost. Jim Gaffigan got a wax job from Variety. They asked Jim, hey, Jim, has your sense of humor changed over time? Jim said, oh, yeah, it's definitely evolved. That's what's really interesting about having children, the value of irreverence. Whether you're 19 or 21, the excitement around irreverence is so much more appealing than nuance. You appreciate nuance later on. When I was in college, I worked as a doorman at a comedy club, and I remember thinking, oh, these boring comedians. I like the edgy guy. I would have disliked my own comedy back then. They asked Jim about working relatively clean. Was he always clean? Jim said, no, I tried on a lot of different hats. I tried being edgy. There's footage of me smoking on stage. Whoa, whoa. Relax there, Jim Dice Gaffigan. Smoking on stage. Whew. Unbelievable. So edgy. A lot of it's just trial and error. Eventually, you end up being the person you actually are on stage. That's kind of unavoidable in stand-up, if you want to embrace authenticity. Some of it is the 10,000 hours and transferring what makes you funny with your friends onto the stage, but the trial and error is being educated on how the audience perceives you. It's similar to being a character actor, which I also am, which is code for ugly. You need self-awareness. When I'd go on stage at Pips in 1993, the crowd had just seen Andrew Dice Clay and they'd see me and think I'm John Tesh. I wanted to not be John Tesh, but I eventually had to face the reality that this is what I look like. It's unfortunate. Jim added, comedians get a lot of credit or criticism for the comedy they do, but the reality is they do exactly what they're kind of allowed to do. I'm a big lumbering white guy. If I was angry, I don't think that would be appealing. Lewis Black can be angry. Even Bill Burr can be angry. But if I'm angry, it just makes the audience uncomfortable. If I'm silly and self-effacing, that's palatable to the audience. We'll be right back. The Lil Rhodey Comedy Festival announced their lineup. Pretty good lineup. Its shows are in March 26th to the 29th. Providence, Rhode Island. John Mulaney, Chelsea Handler, Jay Farrow, Mark Maron, Andrew Schultz, Bob the Drag Queen, and others. That's a pretty impressive list. Timothy Chalamet said Adam Sandler should have won an Oscar for his performance in the 2002 film Punch Drunk Love. I think I told the story already at my class. Yeah, I did. 10 days ago in my class, I mentioned how for repetition and for humor, I always say the great dramatic actor Adam Sandler. And one of my students went on like a 7-minute speech about Adam Sandler It was like he was doing my bit, except he was like super serious. I mean, I'm serious about it. I do think Adam Sandler comedies are terrible, and he's a pretty good dramatic actor, but, I lean into it for the bit. But this student went on for like 7 minutes, and this student was all about punch-drunk love. So my student agrees with Timothée Chalamet, who says, it's one of the most important performances. It's impactful, deeply moving. As a young actor, knowing you for your comedic work, Adam Sandler, seeing that thrown against the context of your other work, I'm like, wow, this is an incredible actor. I hope I can give a performance like this. I know it's not about awards, but you should have a golden man in your hand. Man, you're one of the best actors of all time. Exactly. One of the best actors of all time. One of the worst comedians. Actually, possibly the worst comedian of all time. Now, there's probably somebody worse than him. I'm sure if I sat here and thought about it for a minute, no one immediately comes to mind. But in terms of comedy movies, probably the worst of all time. Hopefully, the great dramatic actor Adam Sandler will heed the words of Timothée Chalamet, who knows something about acting and has a very successful career without doing moronic attempts at comedy. And that is your comedy news for today. I once again bounced a lot of stories. I got plenty for tomorrow and Monday. And, usually this is a dead time of year, but I've got a lot heading out of Thanksgiving. This is like the easiest it's been since I started doing this show. Plenty to talk about. I'm having a good time. Appreciate you listening. Seems like you're having a good time, especially if you're still here this deep in. Have an awesome day.